Hello and welcome to the hottest, freshest, latest Gribbly's Folly Sunday antisocial hour at that time each week. Where's my pipe? When I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. And if you are a piece of humanity with a question for me, leave it in the comments down below using the hashtag AskGribs. I will answer any question. Believe it or not, this is actually the second Sunday antisocial I recorded today, and the first one was lost due to audio corruption. So that's fine. Rafa asks Gribbs, everything 90s is still current, right? Of course, I am from the 90s, and I am certainly current. I mean, I was a teen in the 90s, right? Like that's when it's your decade, is when you're a teenager. I think that to say that I was an 80s kid is not, I don't really remember the 80s. Although if I could go back, I would go back to the 80s. Definitely cooler stuff happened in the 80s. However, the other thing is like how everybody thinks the Black Album is from the 80s, but it's actually from 91. I think a lot of people think that like Limp Bizkit is from the 90s. Definitely not the case. I think that what we think of as the 90s really ended around like 95. With Hootie and the Blowfish. They killed the 90s. You know, you had like Pearl Jam, you had the Smashing Pumpkins, you had Nirvana, you had all that, and then Hootie and the Blowfish came along with Hold My Hand as like a reworked Beatles song, and all of a sudden it's like a, you know, this downward spiral into Britney Spears. Get it? Downward spiral like the Nine Inch Nails. Anyway, Jughead 8988 says, I've mowed lawns a bunch at night we were talking about how they put flashlights on everything now, and I was saying like part of this trend is the headlight on the lawnmowers. I mowed lawns a bunch at night when I lived in the deep south. It was 120 during the day and 80 degrees after dark. Yeah, you're right. That is, you got me. I would never mow a lawn when it's 120 degrees out because I would never mow a lawn. It's the worst chore. I don't understand. I will do any other chore rather than mow the lawn because you get hot, sweaty, bugs all over you. I'm allergic to work, but also grass. VVXY8DJ said, I think you've got that backwards. I think it should be DJ VVXY8. That would be a much better, like, you know, next on stage at the rave. Get your glow sticks ready. It's DJ VVXY8. This person says the Republican Party left me too. Also, we mow at night. Oh, we're just back to mow. Also, we mow at night because it's the only time after the work day. Just stop mow. Look. Pave it and paint it green. The best comments on the last video, though, were the people that say, why am I seeing this nonsense in my feed? I don't know, dude. You subbed. Like, you don't have to watch it. I don't, maybe it's because I made fun of Cracker Barrel. I'm having a very hard time making this video. This is, you know, I recorded a bunch earlier and all the audio got corrupted. And so I just ended up going outside. I went to the woods for the first time this week. And it's Saturday, but I talked a little bit out there. Maybe I'll try to pull some decent commentary out of that woods video and leave you with it. But vloggers block, I guess. Podcasters block. I don't even know what I'm doing here, but I'm blocked. Let's go to the woods. Thank you for watching. So we're coming up on we're rapidly approaching the 1 year anniversary of the storm, and this place hasn't really changed very much. I'm sitting on a tree that came down in the storm, but other than this tree, I mean, there's a few more that I can see. Not a lot changed out here. The path to get here, totally different. A lot of trees down over that path. It's pretty much not navigable. I actually got into a situation hiking out of these woods one night, getting lost. I mean, not lost, but not really seeing a clear way through all that stuff. And that's kind of what a lot of life is like. A year after the storm, where you can get to the things that you can get to normal, but the path you take to normal is not normal. And then when you get there, you don't feel normal either. Like I think that a lot of people here are carrying a lot of trauma. We were sitting on the porch last night talking about it, and it was such a defined time. Like you wake up one morning, everything has changed. And then you count the days until the power comes back on. You count the days until you can buy gas again. You know, and when these milestones happen, you're like, okay, it's over. Like, we made it through 6 days without power, which, by the way, is nothing. There's so many people that were without power for so much longer. But it was a moment when the power came back on. You know, it was okay. That's a big step toward back to normal, and you hit all these steps, and then things still aren't normal. And I sort of took the year off. I didn't want to go fishing because the ecosystem is foobar, and when, you know, trout need a certain water temperature to survive, and when all the trees next to the river are washed down the river, that means that when things go back to normal, the river is now sitting in a bed of rock in the hot sun with no shade, and so the water temperatures have gone up. The fish are very fragile. I would have gone fishing for stockers, but some of our hatcheries were destroyed, and so the stocking hasn't. I don't really know some of it hasn't happened. Either they're stocking less fish or a different schedule, or I haven't paid attention to it because it just felt like the right thing to do to take the year off. And all the places that I would go and photograph, they're inaccessible. They just last week reopened the Blue Ridge Parkway. So, you know, as we go into fall, there's this real call to get back into the woods and go fishing again and do all the things that seem normal. But there's also some dread because they won't be normal. I'm about 30 feet from where the bothy used to be. Now it's still there. It's just a big pile of old sticks. It doesn't look like a structure anymore. This patch of woods seems a lot smaller than it did back then. And you know, and that's partly because the power company came in and cut down a bunch of trees. You know, I think about the like the squirrel hunting era on the channel, and you know, I think one time I took y'all to the range. We did some shooting and just the adventures that used to be accessible that don't feel accessible anymore. Gonna have to push through that. We got to have new adventures. Can't just do talking head videos at my desk anymore. You know, it's making me restless. And I'm out of time. Gotta go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.